Shout out Sniper T on the beat.
Tamara to the break of dawn is on the rise, with life on the forefront of the mind. So line for line, you can ride this brain train and you can change your station without even touching the dial. So relax, stay a little bit, but listen for a while. And whether you're bumping this in the whip or in a business fit, it's a meeting you won't want to miss. A meeting for a meal to feed the soul with words for the mind. So sit back, enjoy the ride. Time to take off, it's time to fly. Cause Tamara till the break of dawn is on the rise.
Yes. Hey, y'all, hey. I forgot how I start my show.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Why does it... I feel like it's your fault. Hey, y'all, hey. It's me, Tamara.
Like, what is happening?
I don't even know. But guys, welcome back to the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Studio audience, thank you for you knowing what's supposed to happen, because apparently I don't know how to start my show. But guys, we're back. To all my new listeners, new episodes drop every Thursday. So come on through, and I usually talk about my life and the ways I'm trying to grow. And then to all my day 1, 2, 3, 4, y'all, it's week 148 in this thing. Like, that's mind blowing to me when I think about how many weeks straight I have recorded episodes or released episodes, because sometimes I record ahead and get a break, you know what I'm saying? But guys, yes, if you're not, follow me on social media, and the link to that is in the episode notes, as well as subscribe to the YouTube channel, you know what I'm saying? Like, those episodes drop the night before. So if you don't feel like waiting until Thursday and it's Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, you can watch on there. But guys, I have my pod sister on the show that some of you that listen to her show might think she's retired, but everybody welcome Audrey to the show. Yes.
Hey, y'all probably like, who? Yes, it's me.
Nah, they know what it is. They better know the vibes, because your stuff be in the episode notes literally every week. Every single week. So
Yeah. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
But they probably like, I mean, I don't put as much content out there as y'all
I
do.
mean,
in here chilling.
I feel it, but they still know who you are. Like,
Yeah,
especially if they watch podcast happy hour. Like, come on now.
That is true.
Except there was the time when you quit on national internet TV. But besides that, guys, you know, it's all good. Oh, yes. So before we get into whatever it is we're going to talk about, I think you know I usually do. I saw a tweet and I have a couple of your tweets, actually. I know.
Mine?
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
Yes. No, these are good ones, because, and you actually tweeted them today, but I actually saw one of them on Instagram first. So, if you're watching, you'll see, and if you're not, you'll just hear, and that's okay. Yeah. Hold on, y'all.
So you're an artist? Yeah. Are you good at it?
Yeah, bitch, I'm in my bag.
So you're
I'm in my bag. Hey. Okay.
So I seen somebody post that. I actually did that this morning, and I was like, you know what? I have a lot of shit I could put up here. So I wanted to put a lot more, but I felt like if I just put like 2 of each thing that I do, I felt like that was like more than enough.
And so, just to be clear, for those of you that are not watching, which you should totally be watching, but so Audrey, I know you heard at least the artist piece of it in the song, that hopefully YouTube don't be tripping, but whatever, because they be tripping off every little thing, you feel me? But she had some food because of Odd Cakes, and
Audi cakes.
Audi cakes. I in my mind, I knew that wasn't right, but I also knew I'm like, well, if it's wrong, she'll correct me.
It's all
So,
good.
so Audi Cakes, Audrey is a professional baker, and her business is not. It's just on a pause right now. So she's that. She also had some actual drawings because I don't know that I knew you could draw. I don't know if I remember that. And then she also had some photography stuff. That part I know, but I don't remember. I was like, oh, she draws too, okay. But maybe y'all also Odd the builder because she be doing all these DIY projects in her house. Odd the homeowner, like, come on, y'all. You know what I'm saying? If we're gonna talk about what it is, we're gonna talk about everything. So yeah, she's always doing the absolute most in her house.
I do.
A lot. Like a lot. I'm talking
Listen,
HGTV type stuff.
I don't be trying to like do the most. It just happens. I mean, I don't even know. Like when I bought this house, I knew there's like certain things, but it literally just turned into like a whole new house.
Mhm.
And like I said, I didn't mean to do that. It just happened.
Mhm.
And I'm still doing shit to the house. So it's crazy.
Yep. All right. So then another tweet of yours. We do have one more. Yeah, two. I saw two tweets. Yep. I saw this one was from this evening, which is what reminded me of the first one. She says, when I lived in Cali, I started a challenge for myself to draw something new every day. I can't remember if it was a 30-day challenge or what, but I think I'm going to start that again. I truly miss drawing sometimes. So, when does this 30-day challenge start so I could help hold you accountable? So you could send drawings to the group every day.
It's gonna be soon because I've been itching to create something
Mhm.
again. I just haven't figured out what exactly I want to create. So when I was in school,
Mhm.
I created. I can actually show you. I created this black
Mm.
queen, um, and it was pretty dope. And so I actually want to finish that. I want to do a whole, like all of the cards. Um, but I've been thinking about starting that either in the next couple of months or sometime next year. But I definitely do want to. And the only reason why I started that in Cali is because I want to draw a picture, but I was having such a hard time doing it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm hella rusty. And I
Mhm.
was like, okay, let me just, start drawing again. And so I just started like, I was like, all right, we're going to draw every day. And a lot of my pictures, so I was posting them on social media at the time. And so that's why on one of the pictures it said like day 4 or something like that.
Mhm.
Um, but it was just like, for me, it was just a cool and easy way to like, I guess, challenge myself. Um, but yeah, I plan on doing that again and plus Braylon draws. So
Oh, okay.
I low key want to do it with him.
And he bakes too, right?
Hmm.
That don't you? Isn't it dope when like at least one of your child like
Yes.
like has similar interests as you, or
Right.
even maybe different parts of different interests or whatever.
Hmm.
What's your favorite thing to draw?
Mm, I love drawing cartoon characters.
Okay. Yep.
Um, but see, okay, so my brother draws too. It's crazy.
Mm.
And he's left, so he writes with his left hand and he draws with his right. Right.
Oh,
I
that's
used to always
wild.
Right. I used to always be so jealous of him because my brother can literally draw whatever comes to his head, and I couldn't do that. So he would just draw whatever. I had to look at something to draw it. But as I got older, I started practicing like drawing just from my head. And
Mm-hmm.
even in school, when I had an art class, that forced me to, you know, draw off the top of my head. And once I realized I could do it, I was like, oh, okay. So I could have been doing this the whole time. But for the longest, I used to be so jealous of him because he could draw whatever he wants. And that's why I did the 30-day challenge too, because I was trying to get to that point. But I think for now it's cartoon characters.
Okay.
Look,
Oh, okay, yeah. And that's playing cards? Because that's what it, okay,
yeah.
that's what it looks like.
So I want to finish that.
Okay. Yeah, it's always cool when you start a creative project and then finish it. I think it's also good to have a balance of like let's say you start Audi cakes back up. That creative outlet is kind of like business and whatever, but I think every creative that gets to the point of being able to like professionally do their craft or professionally create should also have stuff that they do that's literally like just for them. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
I've kind of more recently gotten into that by some of the TikTok videos that I create, are that I call it my chaos series where it's literally just different either pictures, videos that happened at different points in time so they don't necessarily go together, but then I make them go together via the editing or whatever vibe I'm trying to create. And so far what I like is that I have not recreated any of, like, they're all different because
Mm-hmm.
it's all about like in that moment, what am I trying to create? And that's been super good for me, especially with I create so much content for work that like I have to create, which I love doing that too. But yeah, definitely think every creative should have stuff they do that's literally just for them, just for the creative process. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, all right, guys. Well, she mentioned her oldest son, and then she has two other sons, and we know that I have three kids, and Audrey and I are both having different types of kind of like different phases of parenting, but like major shifts, ha- but on the opposite ends of the spectrum. It's kind of interesting. So, how old are your kids? Actually, you've talked well. They might not have heard it if they knew, because I remember we did the parenting episode with Chris. Shout out to Chris.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, but anyways, for the people that don't know, how old are your kids? You could say names if you want. I guess you already said one, so you know.
Well, Braylon's my oldest. He's 7. He just turned 17.
Mm.
Darian is the middle one. He actually just turned 12. And then we got little badass Caden.
Don't do Cade.
He's 4. He'll
I
be
love
5
him
in
so
December.
much. And I actually met him. That just really solidified our bond even more because we met. I haven't met
Oh,
the other two. Yes. And then for those of y'all that don't know, my kids are, so my son is the oldest. His name's Devon. He will be 23 in November, which is like insane to me. Then I have two daughters. One is 20. Her name is Kayliana. And then my
my favorite.
youngest, is Janae, and she will be 19 on Halloween. So my kids are all grown, and the crazy thing about where we're at in parenting is, though, I am in a new phase of parenthood where all of my kids are out of school. So my youngest graduated in May, and this is the first school year that I don't have any kids in K through 12. So that has been such a weird adjustment because there's like things happening even in the schools here, and I'm hearing about it like super duper third, maybe even fourth hand on social media because like I don't have any kids in school. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, I mean, Audrey has a senior, But then also Audrey he's in kindergarten or pre-K?
Girl,
Oh
pre-K.
my goodness. So like this is finally all of her kids are in school. So like she like finally just got to that phase. So we're both in like new parenting phases. And how has the adjustment been for you? Especially like I know senior year is wild because you're like mourning the grown upness that's to come. Like, but then again, you have kids in freaking pre-K. Like, what is that like to be home by yourself all day?
Girl, first of all, I've been in shambles about Braylon being a senior. But I mean, it's nice to finally be home and like work in peace.
Hmm.
It's weird. I won't lie and say it's not weird because I feel like so when Caden was home, I always had to attend to him, make him lunch and stuff like that. And now that he's not here, like the first couple of days, I would still get up and look for him, or like I was about to make breakfast and I would find myself making him breakfast or something like that. Um, and I was bored and lonely without him in the house.
Mm.
But now it's like it's very peaceful. Like I just like the fact that I can work in peace and I don't hear nobody like yelling my name
Mhm.
every 5 minutes. So I mean, I don't know. It's great that he's in school. It is. He looks so cute in the mornings when I drop him off. And I'm always like, oh, like I forget for like a brief minute that he's bad as fuck. So I'm like, oh, look at my sweet little angel. And then when I see my living room is in shambles or whatever, that he's just a little badass in here. But it's definitely different. I didn't think it was gonna be. I guess I didn't think I was gonna be like as bothered as I was
Mm.
at first. Um, but Braylon, I still can't even get over the fact that he's a senior. Like that's what's really fucking me up
Mhm.
because it's like, oh my gosh, you're about to be an adult. Like I have to free you out to the people in the world. Like
Mm.
no, I don't. It's just not sitting right with me, man. I just.
It's wild because I am at the end, like now my youngest has graduated, and it was weird because when my oldest graduated, and even when my oldest daughter graduated, it's kind of like, but Janae was still in school. So, like, yeah, they graduated. And it was more so like this happy for them because, I mean, they're still around, obviously. So,
Right.
but with Janae, it was like the end of an era. And
Yeah.
then the thing about it is, for me, I mean, I'm 42, but I've been a mom since I was 19. So literally all of my adult life has been kids, and then
Yeah.
like Janae and I went through so much like when she struggled and all this stuff, and then praise God she's like in a better space, not perfect, you know what I'm saying, but
Mhm.
just more so better able to advocate for herself and understand what she needs for her own mental health and stuff like that. And so, all in all, she's doing better. But to have gone through like such intense struggles and then to have her graduate, and then it's like, dude, what? And then it's like, I don't know. So, like, for me, I think for her, it was the hardest with ending school just because it's like the end of all of them. Like, there's no one else. I'm not having any more kids. Like, what? Girl, no. Like, I'm about to get a dog. You know what I'm saying? As soon as we move, I'm going to get a dog. And that is because I do need someone to nurture. Now I do know that I like do need someone to care for, but I'm not having another child because that child is going to grow up, and also like I'm free, you know what I'm saying? So like
Right.
I can now, mind you, even though my kids still live at home and that's okay, but they're still adults. So it's just that they're almost like roommates. It's like, hey,
Right.
these are the expectations I have for you. this is what you're going to contribute since you're an adult and you do, like, they all work full-time jobs or whatever. And so this is what you're going to contribute. And then outside of that, though, just let me know if you're not coming home. Like, like no curfew. You're an adult. So when I finished high school and I wasn't even quite 18 yet, that's when I didn't have a curfew or, stuff like that. And so I've kind of passed that on to my kids. So it's like, they're grown, but they're still here, but they're grown. So like when we had our pod retreat, bye. Like I'm leaving and I'll be back, you know what I'm saying? Or wherever else I go as soon as money permits me to travel more. Like when me and Audrey have our separate just us vacation, you know what I'm saying?
It's gonna be amazing.
Yep. We're gonna have all the videos, all the pictures,
all the videos. Y'all gonna be sick of us.
Yes, you know what I'm saying. So when we do that, and wherever else I want to go, and then I also, yeah, sure, let's do family trips. But I started thinking about how like I've literally been a mom my entire adult life. So like I'm finally to the point that I'm like, wow, what do I like? Who am I aside from somebody's mom? You know what I'm saying? Like, what makes me happy? What, I actually get to like think about me. So that's but it's still weird. You know what I'm saying? Because then there's I have to be intentional with my kids because they're all adults. So I have to like FaceTime my son here and there, you know what I'm saying, to how you doing, or hear about his music, he's still doing that, or whoever he's talking to, or just whatever. Like I love that he still talks to me about stuff like that, because I mean adult men sometimes they might not want anything to do with their mom, you know what I'm saying, depending on whatever. So yeah, but then for you though, it's such a gap between Braylon and Kaden.
I know, man. And I think about that often because stories are pretty similar. I had Braylon when I was 19 too, so I often think about you and how you're free, and I'm like, man, damn, I could have been free like damn. And I had said that to Braylon one time, and he was like, "What you mean?" I was like, "You're 17, Darian is 12. Like I could be out here living my best life." I was like, "Nope, I had Kate." So I think about that a lot. I'm like, damn, man, I could be really out here living my best life. That's cool.
And so what, they're 13 years apart?
Yeah.
Okay. Because me and my sister are 15 years apart. So like, yeah. So I'm 42. I have a 39-year-old brother, and then Cedric's 30, and then well, technically it's not my youngest sister, but my youngest sister that my mom had, she's 27. And so it's kind of like there's this, yeah, she's only 4 years older than my son, really, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, and it's funny because my kids they just call her Anisha. Like they don't call her auntie because they basically all grew up together.
Right.
But then they call my Cedric like Uncle Cedric. So it's just something about that 4 or 3 year difference between him and her. For some reason, they call him Uncle, and they just, and maybe that was her because, maybe she might have said, just call me Anisha. I don't really remember. But yeah, I mean, in essence, when they were younger, and like if she would go places with me and my kids, like people sometimes would think she was my child. Cause I mean, she really could have been. I could have had a baby at 15. I didn't, but I mean, it's not unheard of, you know what I'm saying? So she very well could have been mine. So yeah, but you know what though? The way I look at it is, could you really imagine life without Cade though? You know what I mean? Like, no. So like it would have never been that. You know what I'm saying? Because I couldn't imagine the group chat without him.
I'm telling you, my life would be hella peaceful because Caden just so different from the other two. And it's just like, I just don't understand. Like, okay, so Braylon now, I feel like I've had more problems with Braylon now, and not like bad problems, but with Cade, he just came out just raising hell. Like every other day, every other day he's hitting his head on something,
Oh
or he's
man.
busting his lips. Because like with Braylon, it recently started, but like Caden, like you're too young to be doing all this. So I like Caden really just be stressing me out, man.
Yeah, he definitely, I mean, in the time, what have we known each other? 2 years now? I'd say the last year with him has been definitely the ER. Like, I remember all the, it's not even funny. Like, I'm not laughing like that, but I just remember all the
But
praying for his
you probably laughing at the stress.
like praying that for good outcomes and stuff like that that we've had with him. I don't even know what he be doing. He needs to be in a bubble somewhere, like, or something. But
Tam, I truly wish I could tell you what this boy be doing because I don't even know what he be doing. Like he, like, and it's crazy because a couple weeks ago I was watching him and I told him, please be careful. And literally, as soon as I said that, he slipped and hit his chin on the
mm,
couch. And I was just like, how does this keep happening?
mm-mm.
And I'm literally just looking at him and I'm trying to like figure out like how are you this clumsy? I don't get it.
Girl, boy, yeah, boys are definitely different. But then you know what? I remember when the girls were little, like Kayliana was the one that like I remember one time they were in their room and I don't know why she was always like they were always trying to take stuff apart and do whatever. Like that was her. I remember when she was even younger, and this was of course when their dad was still alive, and it was like me, him, his brother, and baby mama, and their kids, and we're all hanging out or whatever. And they were supposed to be in the room just being kids. They on some Rugrat stuff. There was like you know how when you transition a crib from the crib to like the toddler bed, and so you could take the railing off one side or whatever. So we had it in the closet, but we had it positioned a different way. Girl, why these kids turn that into a ladder so that Kayliana could climb up to the top to get the candy that we had on the excuse me, the top shelf in the closet. And the reason we found out is because she's screaming because she couldn't get back down. And so she's like stuck on the ladder, and just like that's how she was. And then even when she was older, I remember when I was in college, I'm doing my homework. They're supposed to be in their room playing, and all of a sudden they're stuck in the room because she used a screwdriver. Why she had a screwdriver, I don't know, but she used a screwdriver to take the screws out of the door handle, and then it was on their side off, but it was still like functioning on my side, so like I could open it. But I was doing my homework, so I was like, well, y'all gonna have to figure it out. Like, why did you do that? Because, like, I think there was like the paper was due at a specific time because I went through an accelerated program, and I was like, y'all gonna have to figure it out. Otherwise, you gotta wait till I turn in, or I think I was doing a time test actually. Girl, they figured it out though. Next thing I know, they come walking out the room, but it's like, why are you doing this? Like, I remember when, man, even with like, I took their cell phone away. They used to share a cell phone, and somehow they like took something apart, and or was it a tablet? Oh, it was a tablet. I took their tablet away, and they had the one that didn't work, and somehow they switched the cover to where they had the one that worked. And like, just how do you know how to do this? Why, how do you think of this to be this diabolical? to try to get over on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know, because I don't remember my son being like that when he was younger. But then again, at the same time, he was with his dad more than he was with me. So who knows? He could have been saving all that stuff for his dad's house. You know what I'm
Probably.
saying? But I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And they definitely did stuff at my house, but it was more so like Kayliana was the ringleader on these types of schemes and plans and stuff.
And see, Kate ass be the ringleader. So what it sounds like is Kate is just going to get worse. Okay.
Well, I will give you hope that it was like, oh man, second grade for her. That's when it just went downhill. Like it was bad. Like I'm talking school meetings before school, her getting in like serious trouble and all this stuff. But then after that, she was perfect in school. Like she wasn't like perfect and nobody's perfect, but never got in trouble. So it was like second through was it third grade too? I know definitely by fifth grade she was good. So I just don't remember if it was fourth grade too. But
That's
yeah.
that's way too many years to not be good.
I mean, yeah. Yeah. Never would have made it. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like it was rough. Lots of praying. I mean, she even started therapy. It was like after our divorce.
Oh, okay.
And then I feel like there was a period of time right around that age where their dad kind of started going through a lot of stuff and wasn't around as much as he was in the beginning when we split. And she was a daddy's girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, she and I don't know that we would be as close as we are now if he was still alive. I just think by default, I'm the parent that's here. So she's like, well, at least I have somebody because
That sounds so bad,
it
Tam.
does. But I mean, it's because she was a daddy's girl. You know what I'm saying? Like through and through. And it was always that Janae and I were closer. So I think that had something to do with it. I don't know. But yeah, it was rough. But then like Janae, she didn't really get in trouble in school like that. Um, but then she had her own struggles, like when she got older, that were equally as bad, but in a different way. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, all kids have. I mean, and even as my son was older, he had different struggles. You know, like they just all are gonna have struggles. Like no kids are perfect.
Yeah. I just wish mine didn't have the struggle of always hitting his head.
I mean, yeah, definitely. I definitely feel you because that happens. I feel like way too much
Like every
for.
other week.
Yeah, I definitely think he could go without that for sure.
When
you
he
know.
hit his head and had that big ass bump the first time,
Ooh,
I think it was like 2 days later, he fell and hit his head again.
I remember that.
Girl, I was just like, I can't.
Yeah, I remember. That was crazy. How's he adjusting to school though? Does he like it?
He loves it. And I was
Hmm.
so worried
Is he
because
good at school?
apparently, yeah.
Hmm.
I was hella worried because Cade has never been away from me. Like
Right.
he's the furthest he's ever been is like with my mom for the
Mhm.
weekend or for a week. But he's never been in any type of like school setting. He's never been in daycare or anything like that. And when I was prepping him to go to school, he was crying. At first, he was excited, and then as we got closer, he was crying. But then when school started, he was just like, "I love it so much." So I mean, it's weird that he loves it so
Mm.
much, but I'm also very happy that it didn't play out how I thought it was going to play
Mhm.
out.
Yeah. You just
He loves it.
It's so crazy that I don't remember anybody else's first day, but I remember Kayliana's first day of kindergarten. She didn't go to pre-K. Um, we just had her stay at home because it was a half day, and for whatever reason, it just wasn't gonna work for me to be able to do whatever. And so we just worked on stuff with her at home. So like she would knew how to spell her entire name by the time she went to kindergarten, which is a lot of letters in her first name. And so but yeah, I remember me thinking, like me being all sad and thinking she was gonna, and her like, bye. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I don't remember though Janae's first day of kindergarten, but I do remember Kayliana's, and I don't remember Devon's either. And then when I think about it, if I'm honest, I'm pretty sure his dad, like, I don't know that I think his dad just took him for his first day of kindergarten. But I don't even remember Janae's day. I don't know why I remember Kayliana's. There's just random things that you remember. And then it's crazy because she's the only one that didn't get actual graduation because she graduated 2020. So she had the COVID graduation, which, listen, if I'm honest, you know what I'm saying?
I remember you loved it.
I was not mad about being able to eat my graduation food in the comfort of my mom's living room.
Y'all listen, y'all don't understand. She was so damn happy about this COVID graduation, y'all. Like, she was for real, like, this is the best thing I've ever done.
Literally, because I watched all the way up until they said Kayliana's name, and mind you, I didn't even pay attention in the beginning. I might have had it on mute or low, because I don't care about none of that. You know what I'm saying? It'd be the same old, let me inspire you to go out and do great things. Oh, you overcame so much through, and then when you started in freshman year was this, and now you're like, it's literally the same type of speech every graduation. And I've been to so many graduations because of working with youth, and so I would go to their graduation. So I didn't care about none of that. And then her last name, it's further in the alphabet, but I promise you, as soon as they called her name and her little picture flashed across the screen, all right, y'all, I don't care about this anymore. We literally turned it off and went back to, we didn't have to worry about traffic. Girl, traffic after graduations
The
is
worst.
insane. So I loved it. And with Janae, she actually had 2 graduations because she went to the independent study school. So she had a ceremony through them, which was super small. And then she had the regular graduation through the high school. And I really wished that she either just wanted to go to one, or it would have even been better if she would have only wanted to go to the small one. But no, she wanted to go to both. So we had the big one on Sunday that all the family went to, and then just she and I went to the small one. But it was still cool. I mean, I knew my child, and I knew she wasn't really gonna only want the small one because she wants to do the most. But somewhere I kind of prayed and hoped, but it didn't work out. So had to do not only one regular graduation, but 2.
Damn.
Yeah. There was no COVID graduation for her.
The disappointment.
I know. And so many parents, I'm sure you're happy and whatever, but I don't like graduations. Like, I mean, I'm glad my children all graduated because I know, I mean, like when I was coming up, that wasn't really an option. Like there was not
Right.
it was just, I can't wait to graduate. Like there was no other option or thought. Now, we didn't all have to go to college, you know what I'm saying? But high school was like, I don't know, but all my kids graduated and graduated on time, although technically Janae finished early.
Yeah.
But still, that's a blessing. You know, they're all working, and that's a blessing as well. That you know, there's been so many young people getting killed around here lately, and Devon, he actually called me. I think it was the day before yesterday, and he was. Whenever it gets close to his birthday, it's so funny because he'll be like, "My birthday's coming," like I don't know, like
Very
I
the same way.
right, like I wasn't there, and so he'll be like, "My birthday is in 2 months or whatever," and he was like, "Man, I was wanting to go out." He was like, "But I don't know because the way these people are like." It has been insane how many shootings have been happening. Because I follow the Omaha Scanner on Facebook, and just seeing what actually really goes on in this city is mind blowing because it doesn't always make the news. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but the kids are grown.
So what are you gonna do now that they're grown?
I mean, so much focus is on my company right now. So
Yeah.
there's that. I do want to start traveling more because that was something that I originally said I wanted to do when I graduated high school, but then I became a mom. And because I've
Right.
always worked in the social work field, like it's not a field where you're going to make a whole bunch of money. You know what I'm saying? So now that they're grown and whatever, like I want to travel more. I really enjoy just being able to focus more on like sure my company, but also like the show or my blog or just like other creative projects. I do want to get a dog because I really want a dog, and that'll be my new child, you know what I'm saying? So, but dogs are loyal, whereas kids are not, you know what I'm saying? So, there's that. So, yeah. Yep.
Well, that's fun. Earlier you said something about like pretty much you figuring out your identity, you don't like what your likes and all that
Mhm.
because you've been a mom for so long. Um, I had that moment too, and I think I was in a group chat crying about it. Um, it was, of course, during Hell Week. If you
Mhm.
listen to my show, then you know what it is.
Mhm.
Um, but the kids were gone for a week, and I didn't know when I had planned. Well, when my mom asked for the kids, I had no idea it was going to be Hell Week, right?
Mhm.
And I had that moment where I was hella lonely and bored, and I was like, I literally have no life outside my kids.
Mm.
Like, of course, I know my kids are going to grow up and be adults, whatever. I think that's really kicking in and settling in for me because it's like, well, damn, when Cade graduates, what the hell am I going to do?
Mhm.
Like, it's just going to be me. And like, I have this fear that they're going to go off and just forget all about me.
Nah.
And then I'm still here, just like lonely, trying to figure out like what to do and whatnot. Because I mean, like you, I've been a mom since I was 19. Like I said, I think that's what's really bothering me about Braylon because it's like this shit is really gonna happen. They're gonna grow up and leave me, and I'm gonna be sitting here
Mhm.
looking crazy with a cat, or they're probably gonna take the cats with them, and then I'm just gonna be sitting here like, what do I do?
Mhm. Yeah, I think it's just important to just have like I mean you have your show, but whatever other interests you have, I think it's important, and it's been helpful for me to, and even in the beginning, create that boundary for them. Like this show is helpful for me because it's a therapeutic creative outlet. So like when I say I'm recording, kind of like that means something, you know what I'm saying? Even before I became a business owner, I've always treated this as something important, and I think having things that are like important to me, and I've started investing in myself even more. So like in the morning, I make sure before I well, now it's usually after I take Janae to work, but she has to be to work at by 7:30, so that's still hella early. So that's why I'm in the group chat earlier these days because now I'm having to get up earlier because whatever, but prioritizing what isn't like what's healthy for me. So like one of the things is we need to leave by 7. So I need to be up literally by like 6:30 at the latest because I need time to just sit there and like fully wake up and have a little bit of quiet time just to myself before I have this 30-minute ride in traffic and whatever. But then even when I get back, my time like in my Bible, journaling, praying, whatever, like I've really prioritized like my mental health, my spiritual health, my emotional health, and all that stuff. And I think for me, even outside of all of the other stuff that I'm doing, that's been one of the most important things. And then being intentional about people that I've known forever or friends and like spending time with them because my life too has been literally just surrounded by my kids and their needs and then maybe work or whatever, but I gotta definitely invest in myself now because yeah, we spend time and they'll come around, but for the most part, if they're gonna go off with their friends, they're gonna go off with their friends, you know what I'm saying? Like they're all getting to, because none of them have kids, so they're all getting to just be adults, just focus on them. Their money is for them. And I love that for them because I wouldn't change anything about my life. You know what I'm saying? My kids make me who I am. But I love that they get to just have however many years of just them because it's so important to figure out who you are. Like I and you too, like we grew up with our kids cuz 19 ain't that old, you know what I'm saying? Our brains weren't even fully developed then. So like I grew
Hell
up
no.
with my kids and then now I'm 42 and I'm like, "Oh, I'm grown. Like I just feel like I don't know. I have these moments where I'm like, "Wow, I'm really an adult." Like, like I'm really also responsible for the well-being of other human beings. Like sometimes that's mind-blowing to me because I don't feel old enough to where I should be having 19, almost 20, and basically 23-year-olds. Like that's just weird because I don't feel like I don't know what 42 is supposed to feel like, but I don't feel like I'm I don't know. I don't feel like I'm 42, but I am very much so.
What is it? What are you supposed to feel like at 42?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Nobody told me, but nobody told me that the road would be.
I knew you were gonna bust out a
Yeah,
song. I just knew it.
it's so funny. I was riding with my friend the other day, and we've only known each other for a few months. And I said something, and then I started singing, and I was like, "Yeah, that's a thing." So I like it'll happen again. I promise you, because everything. Yeah, I just don't understand why God didn't like really give me the vocals that
Oh,
deserve the effort that I be putting out here in these streets.
because he probably knows your ass will be out here being extra.
Yeah, I told somebody I was like he wanted to keep me humble cuz y'all really wouldn't be able to tell me, girl, listen. If I had
We
the
can't tell you nothing
You're
now.
right, but y'all really wouldn't be able to tell me nothing if I actually had the vocals to go with what I be putting out there. Like if
Damn,
it's
you be singing like you got the vocals now, though.
I know, but if like it sounded if it sounded good to other people and they wanted to hear it and they were like, "Yes, sang, not sing, but sang," and
Right?
threw they shoe at me, if I
Not the
had all
shoe.
that good, yeah, if I was like that level, whoo, let me tell you. Y'all might not even know me because I don't think I would have started a podcast. I'd be out here pursuing my musical career. So y'all would know
Just
of
singing.
me. Yes, yes,
Just
yes.
singing. I mean, you sang it.
Sang. Yep. Gone and
Okay.
sang that song, girl. That's what I would want people to say. But I didn't get that life, and I don't know. It's fine.
Maybe in your next life.
I don't even know if I want a next life. I don't know that I don't. Yeah, like, what is the world gonna be like in the? Because My goodness, we think about how much the world has changed from when we were kids or teenagers, even though you're younger than me still, from our teenage years versus what it is now
Completely different.
versus what it'll be. I mean, even from my 20s to now, or even hell, my 30s to now is insane. So like I can only imagine what it'd be like in like when Cade's a teenager. So then talking about a next life, I don't know about all that. You know, one mic, one life. You feel
Oh
me?
my god.
I'm cool. Is it Uchi Wally or is it one mic? I think it's one mic. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, I don't know about that, but I didn't get the vocals now, so it's fine. It's fine. I guess.
She still be giving them though. So
I do, because I just
every chance she
I
gets.
do, because it just rises up in my spirit that like the song "Joyful, Joyful Lord, we adore thee."
Keep singing. I want to hear the rest of the song.
No, because we know there's a part that I don't even really know all like that. So that's why I stopped on what I was confident on. That's what's funny too is my memory is very interesting when it comes to songs sometimes because there are some songs that like, and it's usually 90s R&B that like I know all the words. And then,
right.
Some songs that, maybe I thought they said something else and that ain't really what they said. And it's fine. Like when they tried to say Michael Jackson doesn't say Mama say, Mama sa, Mamaku sa. Talking about he says, I'm gonna say it one more time and I'm not gonna stop. For what? Why do you need to say that?
He doesn't say that.
It's Mama say, Mama sa, Mamaku sa.
Right. He don't say that other.
What part are y'all not getting? I don't understand.
They just making up stuff.
They really do.
I don't, when I heard that, I was like, I've been saying it wrong this whole time. And I was like, no. So I actually went and listened to it, and I was like, that doesn't even make sense. Like,
yeah. And then what's crazy is still to me, City High's song was really a party song, talking about what would you do when your son was at home, crying all alone. Yes,
because he's hungry.
Like what? That is a very, very sad song. Let me say the rest of the lyrics in case y'all somehow don't know. Let's take it from the top, make it drop. Okay, so turn me up. Okay, so what would you do if your son was at home crying all alone on the bedroom floor because he's hungry and the only way to feed him is to sleep with a man for a little bit of money because his daddy's gone somewhere smoking rock now? Like what? That is a tragic song that whatever age, I don't even know how old I was when that came out, but I was really out here like singing it. Like that was my song. Popping and doing all the things, you know what I'm saying? To a song about a single mom struggling, about to start selling it to feed her child. Like what? What a time to be alive, y'all. So
a lot of songs were inappropriate and just terrible and sad, but we was out here singing it like
I had no business singing any of the Jodeci songs in the 90s. I had no business singing Step Back, You're Standing Kind of Close, I Feel a Little Poke. Fun fact, okay, so when I was I probably had to be 19 or no, I had to be like 20 because my son was alive. Yeah, I was 20. So when I was 20, my best friend at the time, she was a part of some thing in college, and so we would go to a lot of like salsa clubs and whatever, because she hung out with a lot of Hispanic people, and like that's the only men that she dated was Hispanic men. Well, now what was really dope is like the people that we'd hang out with, like they would pay for us to get in, buy us drinks, but also protect us and look out for us. So like, even though I was underage, but it's fine. But I could be getting super drunk and like pass out drunk and never had to worry about like anything happening or anybody taking advantage. So that's what I really loved about that time and the life that I was living at that time, because I didn't have to worry about it. So tell me why one time we went to the salsa club, right? So I'm on the dance floor drunk thinking I know how to salsa. Who knows what I looked like to the people? All I know is how it felt, and I felt like I was out there getting it with the little bit of salsa that they had just taught me that day. You know what I'm saying? So I was out there.
Were you on your Selena vibe?
Yes, very much so. And so I was dancing with some dude, and this man got excited, but he pulls me closer and was like, "Can you feel it?" So I left the dance floor, and then I had to have one of the guys kind of go tell him to leave me alone because he kept trying to follow me and all that stuff. So like, though, that next song, that's a wild song when you really think about it, because you mean you got that excited to the point that you couldn't control yourself? Like, what? Had no business singing that. And then when you think about Brenda's Got a Baby, like all of these songs are like tragic songs that we out here just singing like it's a bop.
Singing it like they happy songs.
Right. Just crazy. Well, guys, we're going to get out of here. This was our episode for today. Audrey, her information is in the episode notes. Y'all better subscribe so you know when episodes drop, because she just drops when she feels like it, and that's her business, and she could do that. You know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all subscribe to her, follow her on social media, even though she don't even be on there like that either. But follow her anyway.
Not a consistent person.
Not when it comes to stuff like that. But we talk every day, so I don't really care about what y'all get, because all that matters is that we all talk every day. Hey, man. But yeah, still follow her, though. Still follow her and subscribe. You know.
Damn.
I know. That was kind of
How you going to tell the people you don't care and then say follow her?
Well, so what I really meant was like, I'm just so grateful that we talk every day. That's what I was saying, guys. That's all. That's what I was saying. So, and then the links to all my social media stuff and everything is in the episode notes. Make sure that you all are taking care of yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and all that good stuff. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.
Ladies and gents, this concludes transmission. Tune in next time for a whole new edition. Another adventure and mission to share, be heard, and clarify the vision of this whole new world for